Hello, 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 guys. Welcome to our session. How are you today?
Hello,
Hi,
teacher.
teacher.
How are
Hello.
you?
Hi,
Thanks for
teacher.
asking.
Hello, guys.
Great.
Good. That's awesome. That's good to hear. Good attitude today, guys. I like it. So today is Wednesday. It's the middle of the week already, guys. We're almost there. It's almost we're in I like Wednesdays because um it's like a motivation, like okay, we're in the middle of the week, we're closer to the weekend, so that's pretty exciting. People, today we're having our third class of the cycle. Today is April the 26th. We are also about to finish this month. And we are, I can't believe that we're about to start May. And after May, June, and then after June, we get December, like this quick, like so fast. So my people, today I am, well, I'm going to share the agenda for today. We're going to begin with the warming up activity about stepping stones. Then we are going to work on a board game about continuous tenses practice. And we're going to work on a speaking task activity that is about giving tips on learning a language well. This is the first activity graded from this cycle, the first one. Then we're gonna have the break in the middle there from 7:30 to 7:40. When we come back from the break, we're going to continue working on the speaking task, and then we're going here to the main session, and we're going to plan a short summary of your needs and motivation as a language learning, and what you should do in order to progress, and then the advice or pieces of advice that you will give to new learners that want to learn or start learning English or different languages. Okay, so let's begin. let's begin. We're going to begin with the warming up about stepping stones. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here and I'm going to divide the teams. So we're going to have group 1 and group 2. Okay. I'm going to call people in not randomly, sorry, in the same order as I can see you here from my screen. So in team number 1, we're going to have Ana María Velasco, Andrea Vaca, Angélica Sandoval, Cristian Albarracín, Diana Lozada, Freddy Fonseca, and Harold. Okay. Again, Ana María Velasco, Andrea Vaca, Angélica Sandoval, Cristian Albarracín, Diana Lozada, Freddy Fonseca, and Harold. Okay. Team number 1. Team number 2, we're going to have Jennifer Jimena, Mayra Plata, Natalie, Sarai, Silvia Duran, Stephanie Cordova, and Judy Lisette. Okay. Again, team number 2, Jennifer Vera, Mayra Plata, Natalie Perez, Sarai Acevedo, Silvia Duran, Stephanie Cordova, and Judy Lisette. Clear? Clear the teams?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, here. So the idea is that both teams connect the stepping stones from left to right. So from, let me get the spotlight. From left to right or from top to bottom, okay? So the first team that connects one line or one row of stones is going to win. If, for example, team number 1, if you guys see that team number 2 has already one in a row, they're about to finish, then you can block them and you can avoid them, or you can just interrupt their game and you're not going to let them win. Okay, so let's start. Team number 1, it is your turn. You're going to choose one number from these ones here. Oh, and I forgot to mention this. Of course, behind the number there is a question, and we're gonna have 3 options for the question. Like, we need to choose the correct answer. If you don't answer correctly, the other team gets that square or that circle, not square, that circle, okay, or that stone. Okay, for example, if team number 1, you choose, let's say, number 16, but you don't answer correctly, then team number 2 gets that spot, okay, and vice versa. If team number 2 picks, let's say, 12, but you don't answer correctly, then team number 2 gets that that spot, okay? So you need to answer correctly. So let's go with team number 1. You're going to pick a number, please.
3, teacher.
Which one?
3.
3. Okay, let's go with
Yes.
3. It must get late. It must. Can you see the options? Can you see when I point
Yes,
out the
teacher.
options
Yes.
here? Okay, very good.
Yes.
It must get late. It must be getting late, or it must get in late. What time is it? Person B says answers it's 11 o'clock. So option A, B, or C? Team number 1.
Number B.
Letter B. It must be getting late.
Getting late.
Yes. Do you guys agree from number 1, team number 1?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, where is it? It must be getting late. Yes, very good. Very, very, very good. So you get that point. Team number 2, pick a number.
20.
20. There is appearing, there has been appearing, or there appears to be some money missing from the till. There is appearing, there has appearing, or there has been appearing, or there appears.
I think it has been. I'm not sure,
Seen?
but I think
Appears? I
has
think B.
been appearing.
There has been appearing.
Yes, I have the same.
No, appear.
Which
For
one?
me, C.
For you is C, Stephanie, there appears.
And for me,
Yes.
B.
For you, oh, okay. So you need to give me just one answer. You need to give me just one answer.
They haven't decided to.
Yeah,
Appears.
there appears.
Appears.
Last word. Última palabra. Is it your last one? Yes, there appears.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Oh, where is it? There appears. Yes, there appears. Parece que hay que algo ha sucedido, you know, there appears that that money is missing from the till. Okay, very good. Team number 2. Daniela, you just joined the session. You're going to be part of team number 2, okay? You're going to be part of team number 2. Let's go with team number 1. Pick a stone.
24.
24. Okay. I don't know where Sarah is. I'm expecting, or I will be expecting she's got stuck in traffic. I don't know where Sarah is. I expect
I guess that I'm expecting.
I'm expecting she's got stuck in traffic.
Yes.
Yes, teacher, I'm expecting she's got stuck in traffic.
Okay, last word.
Yes, teacher.
No, I expect.
What?
Yes, pet.
Yes,
Really?
I expect.
Why?
I
That's
Why
expect
is that something that is happening in that moment? No.
she has got
Yeah.
stuck. Like, I espero que ella se haya quedado atrapada. I expect. No, estoy esperando que ella se haya quedado atrapada en el tráfico. No, espero que ella se haya quedado atrapada en el tráfico, and for that reason, I don't know where she is. Y por esa razón está desaparecida o no sabemos dónde está. Okay, so I expect. Okay,
This is
espero.
difficult.
That one was difficult. I guess. So team number 2, you get that stone. Okay, team number 2 because team number
winning.
1 team number 1 didn't get it correctly. So now it is again team number 2's turn. So pick a stone, guys.
23.
23. Okay. Another reason for the drop in sales should be that the weather has not been favorable. Might be or would be. Oh, sorry, or would. Only would. Another reasons for the drop in sales should be
Might be.
Might be.
Might be.
Might be that the weather has not been favorable. Yes, might be.
Yes, might be.
Okay, yes, very good. Because we're talking about a possibility, right? Might be. Okay, very good. Team number 1, pick a stone.
22.
I knew it. Okay, 22. The most obvious reason for the delay, of the delay, or with the delay is that there were problems in the distribution depots. The most obvious reason for the delay, of the delay, or with the delay.
Of?
The most obvious reasons of, for, or with. Of, you said? Team number 1.
I guess that maybe is 4. I don't know. What do you think, guys?
Sounds logical with
For
four.
me, it's off.
For you is off. Christian, you were saying something.
For me, it sounds logical with 4.
For, that's
For me too.
For. Yes. For, the reason for, it's always the reason for, guys. The reason for. La razón por, the reason for. It's always there. Okay? It's always like that. Okay. Next, team number 2.
18 teacher.
18. Okay. The plans have been, are, or are being drawn up as we speak.
Has been.
Has been,
No,
No,
no, that's not.
have been, are drawn up, or are being drawn up.
Are being, are being,
Have been.
Are, oh, guys.
are being because the tense of drown makes not
Okay. The
He
plans
said
have
has
been.
been.
has
Are
have,
being.
I
Are
don't
being.
Hold on. So now
Freddy is the team. We for the team one.
it's for team 2, okay? Team
Yes,
2.
yeah, Freddy.
I heard Frey. I heard Frey there, but Frey, you're not part of this team. So
So one is helping them, the child.
oh,
No,
oh
no,
my
no.
God, Lilian
That is not
is
fair, Lilian.
helping
have been,
them.
they have been,
Okay, are being or are or have been. Okay, okay. So which one?
Have been for me.
have been, teacher.
Have been.
Have been, last word? Yes? No,
Yes.
are
No.
Yes, I'm
being,
happy.
are
Being.
being, because it's something
Please
that is
hide that.
happening.
Right
Next
now,
survey.
yes.
No, it was right.
Oh my God.
Cero para la coordinadora.
No.
En la
I know.
próxima, in the next survey.
That was great.
well, no, it's because she's part of team number 1. Okay, so she's not part of team number 2, and she didn't want to help you guys. Okay, so that was a trap. Okay. So let's go with team number 1. And now, Lilia, now you can help your team because you're part of team number 1. So let's go. Pick a number, guys.
12, teacher.
12.
Teacher,
Okay.
but I can understand why the answer is
Are being,
for the
because
last
it's something
question. Yeah.
because it's something that is happening right now. Are being. Okay. It's something that is like right now. It's happening at the moment of speaking.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Of course. The next one, it's not good. These clothes aren't fitting me anymore, don't fit me anymore, or haven't been fitting me anymore.
Don't fit me
Teacher,
anymore.
I will say don't fit.
Yeah, don't fit me anymore.
Don't fit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Don't fit anymore. Yes, very good. Oh my goodness. Team number 2. It is your
Eight.
8.
Eight.
Well,
No,
but
no.
remember that it's
No.
not, I mean, it's not only choosing number 8, is answering it correctly.
Yes,
Otherwise, if you don't answer it correctly, team number 1 will get the point and they will win. Okay. So team number 2, Dina has broken another glass. I'm afraid. Person B says, oh, she does always that. She always is no. Oh, always she's doing that, or she's always doing that. She's so careless.
She's always doing.
She's always doing that.
Always doing that.
She does always.
She does always that.
No, she's always doing.
Okay.
No,
Oh my God.
No.
They never
Hey,
agree.
hey.
They
No,
never
they never agree. It's
Vote.
so difficult for them.
Hey. It's in prison. I don't know.
So which one do you say? What is your last word? What is your answer? A, B, or C?
A.
Stephanie,
C.
you go with A.
A.
Some people go with C. She's always
No. Is Freddy say C?
Freddy, are you
and-
part of team 1 or are you
No.
part of team 2?
I want to help them.
You are a
I'm
good
confused
team.
with Friday.
You are a good classmate. You are a good classmate. It doesn't matter. You're not
A.
part of that one. A, she does
A.
always.
Yes.
Guys, what do you think? Are you sure?
No, teacher, for me it's weird. That's
For you
it
is
sounds-
weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
A.
There
I
is
don't know why, but
A.
I'm with Freddy.
okay. So
No way.
A or C?
A.
Hey,
A. Guys, did you check the order of the
for me it's the last one. It's
Okay.
already-
We have a frequency adverb, right? Where do we usually place frequency adverbs?
Between ta,
Yes, teacher, as the last sentence for me is okay. The correct. Yeah, the C.
She's always doing.
That's not
She's
fair.
always do. Why not? You
Teacher,
are
you
It's
were
your
doing
fault,
time
Freddy,
for
because you say
A.
Because
They were
Guys.
they went for A.
the other ways
have
to
one
program the game.
We are the winners already.
So okay, well guys, because some people were saying that it was letter C, so they also said that answer, so you know it's not me, it's what they said. Okay, so sorry. Okay, team number 1, let's see if you get
7.
7, teacher. I guess.
how will I get there? Try asking Stephen. He might know, he might be knowing, or he might to know. Now I can change the teacher.
Now?
I guess
Only
that
now?
is now.
He might know the first
Yeah.
one. Okay,
Yes. What do you think, guys?
The same.
same. Okay, yep, he might know. Yes, very good. Team 2.
One.
1. Okay, the company was investing a lot of money in research lately. Has been investing or is investing? Lately.
Investing.
Has been investing?
Yes, has been.
Has been. Okay, very
Has
good.
been.
Has been. Excellent. Team 1.
Number 2.
Teacher.
Which one? Team 1.
2.
2. Okay. What's wrong? Oh, it's my sister. She's being difficult again. She will be difficult, or she's being difficult again.
Is being.
Is being.
It's
I
been
know. Easy.
She's being, yes, she's being
We
difficult
are the
again.
winners, yeah.
Guys, team number 1
Yes.
wins. Very good, guys. Excellent, excellent. So you were the first one to connect stepping stones from top to bottom. So you guys are the winners for this game. Very, very, very good. Okay, excellent. So we're going to do another game, but after we do that, I'm going to call the attendance, okay? So after before we do that, I'm going to call the attendance. Please let me know that you are here. So today's the 26th, right? Yes. Acevedo Cuevas Saray.
Present, teacher.
Excellent. Albarracín Caballero, Cristian.
I'm here, teacher.
Awesome. Ayala Viloria Joeli.
Here, teacher.
Great. Vaca Yain Andrea.
Present, teacher.
Awesome. Carrera Bonilla John Hammer.
Hello, teacher. I'm here.
Hello. Very good. Cordero Castellanos Brian.
Hello, teacher. Good night.
Hello. Good evening. Córdoba Miranda Stephanie.
I'm here, teacher.
Awesome. Durán Ardila Silvia.
Present, teacher.
Good. Fonseca García Freddy.
I'm here.
Great. Liscano Ariza Judy Lisette.
Present, teacher.
Awesome. Lozada Díaz Diana Lisette.
Present teacher.
Good. Muñoz Salazar Andrea Juliana. I don't think she's here yet. Okay. Pérez Ardila Natalie Joanna.
I'm here, teacher.
Awesome. Pinzón Linares Mayra Juliet.
Present, teacher.
Great. Plata Vargas Mayra. Mayra. Mayra was here at the beginning of the session. Where is she? She left. Maybe she's having like internet issues. Because she was here at the beginning. So I'm going to call her name later on. Rodríguez Llorente Harold David.
Hi, teacher.
Okay. Sandoval Miranda Angélica. Angélica.
Hi, teacher.
Okay, very good. Sierra Jaimes Daniela.
Hi, teacher.
Okay, very good. Velasco Uribe Ana María.
I'm here, teacher.
Awesome. Vera Peña Jennifer.
Here, teacher.
Okay, very good. Okay, people.
Teacher?
So, yes.
Mayra is having problems with the connection.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because she was
She,
here at the beginning.
she
Yeah.
texts me, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. She might be having problems or troubles with her internet connection because she was here at the beginning of the session. Okay, no problem. People, we are going to do one short activity. It's a game. And we're going to review, hold on, and here. Here. So on your Google Drive folder, here it's the link again. We have, and also I added the enlaces para la visualización de clases. So all the recordings are going to be here. So in case you, we have the recording from class number 1 and class number 2, in case you need to check them.
Teacher,
Yeah.
Teacher,
but the
do we
link.
need
The
It
link is,
says that I need to request access, teacher,
Oh.
to the folder.
oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me try again. Where is it? Oh, I don't know why it's restringido. Okay. I think now you can access the folder. Let me know if now you can access it.
Teacher, Mayra is waiting to be accepted in the poll.
It's done,
It's in
teacher.
the waiting room. Oh yes. I
And
can-
the waiting room.
Yeah. Good. And now can you access the folder?
Yes, teacher, it's
Yes,
done.
now, okay, very good. So here, as I was saying, here we have enlaces for you to check the recordings in case you guys need. So here you find the first class, second class, and then after today's class, I'm going to upload here the link so that you can watch it in case you guys need, okay? Maybe if you missed something or a part of the session, you can go back here and check the recordings. Okay. Yes, Mayra, don't worry. I totally understand. It happens. Okay, very good. Here, guys, on class number 3, the one that says class number 3, there is a board game, okay, that says verb tenses. So here, we have the rules is that you are going to roll the dice. So we're going to play with 2 dices, okay? Or actually 3. We're going to play with 3 dices because we have so many verbs. And we're going to play with 3 dices. I guess you have the option on internet to add 3 dices. So we're going to roll it, and then we are going to, let's say you get 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Open. You're going to make a sentence, a basic and easy sentence using the verb open. But not only that, you are going to choose another player and you're going to let him or her know, or you're going to tell them that you are going to, or that he or she is going to transform the sentence that you just created. You are going to transform it to present continuous or future continuous or present perfect continuous, like any of the continuous tenses. Okay, so here are only examples: present tense, past tense, yes, past tense. We can use past continuous or past perfect continuous, present continuous tense, future continuous, like any tense using the continuous form. So for example, you create a sentence, my mom opens the door in the afternoon, for example, like a very basic and easy sentence. And you're going to say, okay, Harold, you are going to transform that sentence to the past perfect continuous. Okay, so and then Harold is going to transform that sentence using the tense that I give him or that I ask him to transform it. Okay, is it clear now? Is the game clear?
Yes, teacher, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, another example. Let's say I am another person from the team rolls its eyes again, and then it gets 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. Look, I say, I don't like to look in the mirror, for example. Or I say I usually look in the mirror in the morning. Okay, so I say, okay, now Daniela, you are going to transform that sentence to the present continuous, something like this. So you're going to transform it and you're going to say the sentence in the basic or in a easy form, and then you're going to ask your classmate to transform that same sentence to different tenses. Okay, so in that way we're going to practice conjugation and sentence formation. So I'm going to send you to the groups, to the breakout rooms. It's going to be a short activity. Okay, it's not going to be a long exercise. Is anybody connected twice? Is anybody twice? Maida, are you twice or not?
No, again, my computer. I don't have internet. I am on my phone, but I don't have internet. No, I'm not double.
You're okay. Okay, good. And then I need one person to please share screen so that all of you can watch the same screen and play the game. Stephanie, you're usually twice, but you're not twice right now. Okay, so I guess nobody's connected twice. So I am very good. You're going to join the sessions, please. Remember, one person shares the screen. Thank you.
Teacher, can I leave the session for probably 10 minutes because I'm going to reset everything?
Okay, sure, go ahead, no problem.
Okay, I'm going to leave this.
Okay, sure,
Thank you, teacher.
not a problem.
That was short.
I know. I told you it's going to be short.
We were kind of arguing
Oh, why?
because of the tenses.
Because of the different tenses. I know, but it was just a short practice, though. Okay, I guess we are all back. How was the activity, guys? Did you practice the different tenses? I know it was short. I know that, but did you get to practice at least some tenses?
Yes, we did.
Yes, okay.
I think that the activity we change a little.
Okay, you changed the activity. That's okay.
Well, we not completely, but a bit with some, how do you say retoque? With some new
Well,
things.
with some slight changes. So that means cambios pequeñitos, retoques, slight changes.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And then what did you do to the game to see if it's more interesting than my idea, and then I can copy your idea? What do you guys do? Or how do you change the game?
Because the activity was create sentences with the verb, but with continuous times.
Yes.
For example, was past continuous, past perfect continuous, so future continuous. But we create in different times, not only in continuous.
Not only continuous. Ah, okay. So you wanted to practice, you wanted to review different tenses, not only continuous tenses, but okay, that's good. That's fine. That's
we use continuous too, but not.
You also added more. You also added more tenses. Yes. Okay, perfect. That's good. That was good. So it was a good practice or a chance for you to review different tenses, which is perfect. Okay, excellent, guys. Excellent. So now we're going to move on because we are going to have a speaking task for today. And we will finish our first unit today. Tomorrow, we're going to start the second one, okay? So for today, we're going to be working on giving tips on learning a language well. So we are going to be sharing our tips, the things that you think work, or things that worked or that are working in your process, or that are helping you in your process of learning a second language or becoming bilingual, right? So this activity I'm very excited about, because I want to listen to you, and I want to listen to your advice. So before we get to working groups, we are going to listen to 7 high-level language speakers talking about learning strategies that helped them or someone they know. So that helped them in particular, or that it helped someone they know. You're going to make notes about the questions below for speakers. So which languages were being learned? What strategies does he or she describe? Or in what ways did it help? Okay, so remember to make notes, because we're going to listen to seven high-level language speakers. Okay, so we need to take notes in order to remember everything that they say. Okay, good. And then we're going to read the profiles that we have here from language learners around the world. So are you ready to start with the listening?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, very good. So let's begin.
Unit 1, Recording 4. 1.
This maybe isn't the most original way, but I think I really improved my English when I watched films and TV programs with the subtitles on. The subtitles help you to, of course, understand better, but you don't feel like you're really studying a language. You just feel like you are enjoying a film with drama or romance or murder, and it's just like enjoying yourself, and it's not like you're learning anything.
2.
I'll tell you what I'd say, actually, and this is something that I've done myself. I went to learn Spanish in Argentina, and I found the thing that helped more than anything was doing a class in tango. Guitar, I play guitar. And, you know, you go in the class and you're not thinking about learning the language. You're thinking about the instrument or, you know, whatever the class is that you decide to take. And somehow it seems to sink in a bit more. The language actually sinks in rather than if you're focusing on grammar or whatever. And just, you know, playing the chords and learning the vocabulary of music. I found that was absolutely fantastic, and I'd recommend that to anyone.
3.
This sounds a bit weird, but a friend of mine told me that the best way she found to learn English, or to improve her English, I should say, was to try and think in English whenever she could. So when she was by herself, walking down the street or on a bus, whatever, she'd look around and try and describe in her head what she could see. Then she used to also imagine conversations she might have with people in the future, or imagine a conversation with a friend or something in her head. And I think sometimes when she was by herself, she used to talk out loud to herself even. So she was doing all this practice all the time, just by herself in her free time. It sounded pretty clever to me.
4.
And when I was 19, I think, I went to England to become an au pair and learn English. And the best thing about this was if I was ironing or hoovering the house, for example, I would put the radio on or YouTube or something like that and listen in the background. So I have all the time the English language going in to my brain without really thinking about it. I think it's best if you don't concentrate, if it goes on, you know, in the background. It's really helpful.
5.
Well, I've always believed that learning a foreign language, you have to communicate constantly in that language. So I would always say, you know, get yourself a girlfriend from the country of the language you wish to learn.
6.
Well, when I lived in Poland, I was never very extroverted as a person, but when I first came to England, I realized that the only way that I would get better in English was to just talk to everybody. So I made myself have conversations with people I met on the street or at the bus stop or shopkeepers, even people in the cafes. Some people, they weren't always very friendly, but lots of people actually are, and they're very polite, especially the older people.
7.
You know what I do to keep up my Spanish is I just go online regularly and read the news websites, all in Spanish, of course. And I choose to read about something I really am interested in anyway. I just find that's more helpful. So I may be reading about, in my case, I love football, so I'd be reading about football or maybe business and something I'm interested in anyway. And it's just so much easier to read in a foreign language if you're interested in what you're reading about. And it's great for your vocab, and it sort of just reminds you about what you already know.
Okay, guys, do you need to listen to the recording again? I think it was pretty easy. I mean,
I guess that maybe the second one speaker.
The,
The second
the
speaker
second
is
guy,
is
right?
the
I,
harder.
I
But I
was
guess that
also
I get the idea, but I want to listen in again
okay.
just for be sure.
Okay, I was actually taking notes as well as I was listening with you. And when I heard the first guy, the second guy, I was like, what the heck? But then he starts so fast, but then he slows down. So we're going to listen to it again.
Yes, teacher.
Christian, you have it all? Okay, okay. But we're going to listen to it again in case somebody needs to double check. Okay, so let's listen.
Unit 1, Recording 4. 1.
This maybe isn't the most original way, but I think I really improved my English when I watched films and TV programs with the subtitles on. The subtitles help you to, of course, understand better, but you don't feel like you're really studying a language. You just feel like you are enjoying a film with drama or romance or murder, and it's just like enjoying yourself, and it's not like you're learning anything.
2.
I'll tell you what I'd say, actually, and this is something that I've done myself. I went to learn Spanish in Argentina, and I found the thing that helped more than anything was doing a class in tango. Guitar, I play guitar. And, you know, you go in the class and you're not thinking about learning the language. You're thinking about the instrument or, you know, whatever the class is that you decide to take. And somehow it seems to sink in a bit more. The language actually sinks in rather than if you're focusing on grammar or whatever. And just, you know, playing the chords and learning the vocabulary of music. I found that was absolutely fantastic, and I'd recommend that to anyone.
3.
This sounds a bit weird, but a friend of mine told me that the best way she found to learn English, or to improve her English, I should say, was to try and think in English whenever she could. So when she was by herself, walking down the street or on a bus, whatever, she'd look around and try and describe in her head what she could see. Then she used to also imagine conversations she might have with people in the future, or imagine a conversation with a friend or something in her head. And I think sometimes when she was by herself, she used to talk out loud to herself even. So she was doing all this practice all the time, just by herself in her free time. It sounded pretty clever to me.
4.
And when I was 19, I think, I went to England to become an au pair and learn English. And the best thing about this was if I was ironing or hoovering the house, for example, I would put the radio on or YouTube or something like that and listen in the background. So I have all the time the English language going in to my brain without really thinking about it. I think it's best if you don't concentrate, if it goes on, you know, in the background. It's really helpful.
5.
Well, I've always believed that learning a foreign language, you have to communicate constantly in that language. So I would always say, you know, get yourself a girlfriend from the country of the language you wish to learn.
6.
Well, when I lived in Poland, I was never very extroverted as a person, but when I first came to England, I realized that the only way that I would get better in English was to just talk to everybody. So I made myself have conversations with people I met on the street or at the bus stop or shopkeepers, even people in the cafes. Some people, they weren't always very friendly, but lots of people actually are, and they're very polite, especially the older people.
7.
You know what I do to keep up my Spanish is I just go online regularly and read the news websites, all in Spanish, of course. And I choose to read about something I really am interested in anyway. I just find that's more helpful. So I may be reading about, in my case, I love football, so I'd be reading about football or maybe business and something I'm interested in anyway. And it's just so much easier to read in a foreign language if you're interested in what you're reading about. And it's great for your vocab, and it sort of just reminds you about what you already know.
Okay, people, so let's talk about the first person. What language was that person learning, and what tips did he or she give?
She was learning English.
English.
English, okay. And then what tips?
And she said that for learn English, she used to watch film, TV program with subtitles on, because she felt like she weren't studying a language, because she feel that in that way she can enjoy yourself.
Okay, she could enjoy herself. Okay, very good. Actually, guys, this is one tip that I usually give to people that ask me, like, okay, you're a teacher, what can you suggest, or what is something that your students tell you about, or what is something that you tell your students to do? And I always say this. I always say, okay, you should watch a TV show, a series that you like, and watch it with subtitles on. And of course, subtitles in the language that you're learning. In this case, it will be English. And then once you become more confident about your language, about the language you're learning, you can simply like stop watching subtitles or reading subtitles, and you just watch the show without subtitles on. Of course, if it is an easy TV show or series, for example, my favorite TV show is The Big Bang Theory. And if you have watched The Big Bang Theory, you know that the vocabulary that they use is very because they are engineers, they're doctors on science and so on. So the language that they use is very related to that field. And of course, it sometimes is not easy for everyone to understand. So I always watch The Big Bang Theory with subtitles on, but subtitles in English. I also watch other TV shows like Friends. Friends is very easy to follow. I watch it without subtitles. I also watch Mom. I don't know if you have ever watched or heard about it. That is called Mom.
I like it, yeah.
Oh,
Alcoholic?
it's so good. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So
That's a great one.
yeah, that's a great one. So I watch that one without subtitles, and it's something that I really enjoy because I'm watching something that I like, but I'm also watching it with subtitles or not subtitles on. And it's something that is going to help you with your listening skills, with vocabulary. And then you say, oh, this person said this sentence, and then that person used this structure. So it's going to help you become aware of the sentence structure that they use, the vocabulary, pronunciation, and so on. So that's a great tip. The second one, what was the language and what tips did he mention?
Spanish.
Spanish, right?
He went to
Spanish.
Argentina.
He was in Argentina. Very good. And then what tips did he give?
Because
He was taking
focused on the music.
Yeah,
Okay.
tango lessons, just playing the guitar.
Specific with his class, no?
Yeah, so he said that one good way or one great way to learn a language is to sign up for a class that you like. For example, he says that he plays the guitar, so he signed up for a guitar class, and then he was learning different sounds and you know, like practicing playing the guitar, and in that way he would learn vocabulary. So he didn't feel as he was learning the language itself, but he was doing something that he enjoyed, and at the same time he was learning. So he said that he mentioned class in tango. He also mentioned the guitar classes and so on. So he said that it is a good way to sign up for a class. in that maybe if you are living in another country, if you move to another country, so sign up for a class that you like. For example, if you like dancing, so sign up for a class in dancing, something that you enjoy, something that you like, or painting or drawing or an instrument and so on. Very good. The third person. This third tip is one of my favorites.
English?
Yes, English. And it was for a friend of his. Okay, it wasn't for him, it was for a friend of his.
Yeah, he said that her friend, she was always thinking in English, everything in her head.
Yes.
Even if she was in the streets and she saw things, or she used to imagine conversations with other people or saying it out loud.
Yes. So this is something that I personally do. And since I mean I am always speaking in English with you guys. Thank goodness I have a B2 level. But when in the mornings I usually teach a level like the most basic one, so I can't have a fluent conversation. So what I do is I try to have conversations in my mind. I'm always practicing vocabulary, expressions, phrasal verbs. I'm always practicing this, because of course if you don't practice you forget things, and forgetting things, it's normal. We are not machines and we don't know everything, because that would be like impossible. However, practice takes time, and in order for you to become fluent you need to practice. Okay, and it takes time. But this is a good practice. If, for example, if during the day you don't have a person to talk to in English, you can practice in your head, you can have conversations in your head, and in that way you are going to review certain, for example, let's say you're having a conversation about meeting a person for the first time, but then you forgot a word and you say, oh, how can I say this in English? I totally forgot. Okay, I'm going to check the meaning of this word. And then in that way, you are not only practicing structures, you're also learning vocabulary. So this is a tip that I personally love. If you are not talking or listening in English all the time, that is a good way to practice. Okay, good. The fourth person. It was a girl. What did she say?
English.
English again.
She was learning English.
She's 19.
Did you get the program and the country?
She went for being au pair in the UK.
Yeah, she was an au pair in the UK. So it's the same thing that I did. I was an au pair, but in the United States. What did she do? Yes, what did she do to help herself with the
Used to
language?
put the radio on.
Putting the radio on.
Yes, putting the
And
radio
to say that
on.
it was better that if you don't concentrate it in
Yeah, if you are not paying completely attention to what you're doing or to what you're listening, this is something awesome. Because guys, sometimes this is something that we call indirect learning. Okay, so it's a aprendizaje indirecto. We have direct and indirect learning. Sometimes when we're learning vocabulary, and this is a tip that I always give my students, especially when they're learning verbs, when they're learning, when they are just becoming or they're starting to learn English, and they always say, oh teacher, how can I learn the verbs? It's so easy, it's so difficult. So I say, okay, you need to put task and set some task during the week. So you can get a list of verbs and then choose 10 to 15 verbs per week. And then we have these sticky notes. Have you ever seen the notes that are like colorful and then they are
Post-its?
Yes, those ones. And then I always say, oh, put them in places at home where you see them, because sometimes it happens. I don't know if this has happened. I'm sure it has. Sometimes you you see a sign or you see something, and you have never read carefully what the sign says, but you know what the sign says because you see the sign so frequently and you recognize or you learn what the sign says, not because you're fully paying attention to the sign, but it's because you are watching it constantly. So you indirectly you're learning what the sign says. So this is something that I tell my students, like, okay, put sticky notes around your house in places that you see them constantly. For example, in the kitchen or in the bathroom or in your living room. So you are looking at the verbs, and in that way you are learning them. So that's a good tip. Also, you know that you have learned well, she said that she used to put the radio on, so she was listening to English all the time. This is something that I personally did as well. I used to put the news or conversation between people, between 2 or 3 people, and I would listen to what they're saying, and in that way I was practicing my listening skills, or I was just like have conversations with people, like with the neighbors and so on. Okay, guys, very good. What about the fifth person? Did he mention the language?
No, teacher.
No, he didn't.
In
As I
general,
say,
just
yes.
foreign language.
Yes, but any foreign language. And what was the tip that he said?
Get
It's
a girlfriend.
necessary to constantly speak the language.
Okay, so
Communicating the language that you're learning.
To
yes.
communicate constantly.
Yeah, make friends.
Well,
He
yes.
says that
Then you
get
have
a
to find a
girlfriend
couple
that
who speaks
from
that
the
language as
Uh-huh.
his mother
yes.
or his
So-
mother language.
Well, actually, he said, get a girlfriend from the
That was
link.
funny.
Yes, get a girlfriend because you are going to learn, or you are going to practice English. Well, maybe not a girlfriend or a boyfriend if you are not interested in, having a relationship, but like
I
make friends.
haven't got a boyfriend in my language.
No, never. Oh, in your own language or or in English?
In my own. So now in other language.
How can I have a Well, this is a good tip, guys. I 100% recommend it. Get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or try to find a girlfriend or boyfriend that speaks English.
Freddie knows about it.
Frey knows about it. Okay, Frey, share with us your experience. Do you think this works?
I mean, it is pretty helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used an app that was called Hello Talk.
I have
It
a
was for language exchange. Yeah.
Okay.
It was very easy.
Teacher, for me is the opposite.
For you, the opposite. Why?
Yeah, because he learned Spanish to talk with me.
Oh, so it wasn't like good for you. It was good for him, but not for you.
Yeah.
Okay, it happened to me. Sorry?
I was saying that she has to stay quiet in order that her boyfriend have to tell her in English.
So this one works. I had a boyfriend. He was American, and I used to talk with him and practice with him whenever I had doubts, or whenever I it was a constant practice. So that's a good tip. I recommend it 100%. The next one, number 6. What was she saying?
She was from Poland. She went to England.
So she's from Poland and she moved to England, right? Was England?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was giving tips about talking to people, the local people.
Yes.
But she said that sometimes they are not polite. Not everyone wants to talk or have
Yeah.
conversation with a foreign person.
Yeah.
But she said that all people, they are very kind.
Yeah, especially old people, they're very kind and they're always willing to help you. They're always willing to have a conversation with you and maybe help you with the language. So, oh, hold on. Oh, my computer is going to die soon. Okay, I got it. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. So yes, the tip that she gave was to have conversations with people like everywhere in a cafe or in a grocery store, so that you could practice having conversations with people. Very good. And then the last person, the last girl, what was the language that she is learning?
Spanish.
Spanish, yes, Spanish. What was a tip that she gave?
She decided to read the news about topics that she was interested on. For
Yes.
example, on football or businesses.
So
It's a way to spread her vocabulary.
yes, very good. So go online and read news that that you are interested in. So if you like sports, go on and read news about sports. If you like history, go on and find news about history. If you like entertainment, then go and watch or go and read news about entertainment. So that's a good practice. You read, but you're not reading something because you are forced to. You're reading because it's something that interests you. So in that way, you can practice vocabulary and, of course, grammar, structures, and so on. And guys, those are awesome tips in order for you to become fluent. And I don't know if you have ever dreamt in English, like when you were sleeping and having dreams. Have you ever done or experienced this, like dreaming in English?
Teacher.
Yes.
I have,
Yes, this
You
year happened
have?
to me.
Oh, that's
Sure, once
awesome.
happens to me.
Yes, okay. Una vez eso les pasa, ya no hay vuelta atrás. You are fluent. And it happens to me, guys, that when I was living back in the United States, I was constantly using English because I was, my host family, they didn't speak any Spanish. I mean, Hannah did, because she started learning Spanish when she was in 3rd grade, I guess. And she would always go to Spanish camps. So she would travel to Costa Rica, she would travel to different parts of the country, but to Spanish camps. So she will practice Spanish all the time. And it was fun for her. Me too. She has the perfect life, the most perfect life. She used to, during summer, she will go to Italy with her friends. My host family, they have a house in California, in San Diego, so they will travel to San Diego. And she has the most perfect life. And so she would go to the Spanish camps during summer, and she would practice Spanish with me. And it happened to me once that I was, cooking something, and I was talking to a friend. He's from Colombia. And I was telling him the recipe that I just did so that he could follow the recipe. And I was recording, something, and I said, okay, you tienes que usar, o utilicé esto, utilicé tal ingrediente. And I forgot about the word in Spanish. And I say, utilicé mushrooms. I remember the word, and I say, utilicé mushrooms. And I said, mushrooms. ¿Cómo digo mushrooms en español? It's something that we don't do it on purpose. Eso no es algo que uno haga a propósito, como, ay, sí, se le olvidó el idioma materno. No, of course not. Pero sí pasa que uno confunde palabras o que uno no sabe cómo decirlo en inglés pero no en español. So it happens that you say, oh, how do you say this in Spanish? Se me fue, se me fue. Eso pasa. This is something that happens. I don't know if it happens to you. No sé si les pasa a ustedes o les ha pasado. And then I had to ask Hannah, and I had to say, Hannah, how do you say mushrooms in Spanish? And she looked at me and she said, really? And she said, champiñón. And I said, thank you. And I continue recording and I say, champiñones, because I totally forgot that word in my own language. And it's something that it's not like, oh, I brag about this. No, I mean, there are people that they change the pronunciation, which is something, you know, weird. Imagine you being 30 years old and you have lived your whole life in Spanish speaking country, and then you move to the United States for 5 years, or to Spain, or to an English speaking country, and then you change your pronunciation in Spanish. You know, that is weird. That is something that it doesn't happen. You can forget words, but you can forget your accent. Okay, so it happens. Do not feel bad if you forget about words in your language, because it's something that is pretty normal. Okay, this is something that happens once you become fluent, and this is something that you should feel proud of, guys. So my people, we are going to read the profiles. We're going to start reading the profiles here. Here, let me zoom it or zoom out. So we have Adriana. She is from Buenos Aires, and she studied English for 9 years at school. So we're going to read about her profile. Then we have Kareem from Jordan. So he's planning to do a master's degree in business studies at an Australian university in a couple of years' time. We're going to read about his profile. David is 26 years old and is qualified as chef, but cannot find a job in his whole country. So we're going to learn about his story. We have Asha. She studied Russian for 5 years at school in London. And Akiko, she is 33 from Tokyo, and she has moved to San Francisco with her husband. So I guess she is she's going to give tips on how to learn English. Okay. So what time is it, guys? It's 7:26. At 7:28, we're going to stop. We're going on a break. I guess in 2 minutes, you read at least about Adriana. So let's start reading about Adriana individually, and then we are going on a break shortly, okay? So please start reading about Adriana. Once we come back from our break, we continue reading the rest of them. So please start individually, please. Okay, people, we are going on a break. We'll continue at 7:40, okay? So see you shortly.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Okay. Time's up. We are going to continue. So we were reading about Adriana and Kareem. Did you finish reading Kareem? Or you're about to start?
Yes, teacher, I finished.
Okay, so we are going to continue reading about all these people. Finish reading all of them, Adriana, Kareem, David, Asha, and Akiko. Let me know, okay? So please continue reading. Thank you. Ready? Do you finish reading or not yet? All of them.
Not yet, teacher.
Not yet? Okay. Okay, ready? Yes, a couple of you have already
Teacher.
finished.
Yes,
Yeah.
teacher.
Yes. Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, so we have different people here experiencing different situations regarding the English or the language, not only English, but the language, right? Or a language. So we are going to do one part that is going to be graded. So in groups, you're going to think of your own useful tips or suggestions for the 5 language learners in pictures. So you're going to suggest or you're going to give pieces of advice to Adriana, Karim, David, Asha, and Akiko.
For all of them?
Yes, take into account their situation. Some of them say that they don't have enough money to pay for classes. As you know, learning a new language can be expensive. Or maybe like traveling abroad, that is expensive. So what tips can you give, or what advice can you give to them so that they can practice or improve the language that they're trying to learn, or the different skills that they want to improve? Okay, so you are going to work in groups, think of useful tips, and then you're going to write down some of these tips or ideas for them. Okay, and then once you finish, you are going to work on this exercise together as a group, and you're going to discuss the following questions. So which learner or learners in the profile do you have most in common with? Think about your motivation, because here their motivation is different. So for example, for Adriana, her motivation is her job or a new job opportunity. And so for Kareem is a master's degree. So that is his motivation. For Akiko, her motivation is to maybe like have a conversation with people, or to be more confident in the language. So think about the motivation, the job or study needs, the skills that you want to develop the most. If you say, oh, I want to be fluent, or I definitely want to improve my writing skills, or I want to improve my speaking or my listening. Okay, so the skills that you want to develop most, your strength and weaknesses. We all have strength, we all have weaknesses. Which tips and suggestions that you have discussed might help you. So which tips and suggestions that all of you have discussed might help you. For example, if in my group somebody for example, I want to practice my speaking, for example, and then one person says, or one of my classmates suggests something in order to improve my speaking skills or speaking skills in general. So if you think that what your partner or your classmate says is useful and it's going to help you in order to improve your English or in order to achieve your goals, okay? Good. And then we can come back to the main session and report what you guys found, okay? Good. So basically, we're going to do exercise 1 and 3A. Yes.
In the 3A, this part is individually or?
Well, I mean, it's in groups. So you are going to have a conversation with your classmates and you're going to say which learner or learners in the profiles you have most in common with. Here, you don't have to write down if you don't want. Of course, if you want to write down, you can, or maybe like make short notes. You don't have to write long paragraphs, but just like keynotes, okay, like keywords or key sentences, in order for you to then, when we come back to the main session, you can share with the rest of us, with the class, what you found that it was interesting about, all this activity. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, very good. And here you can use the useful language. The useful language is here. So discussing tips and suggestions. So for the tips, for the first part, for this one, you do have to write for the first one. So exercise number 1, you do have to write, okay? So you have to give advice to Adriana. You have to write down advice for Karim. You have to write down pieces of advice for David, for Asha, and for Akiko. For the third one, or for the second exercise, that is 3A, you don't have to if you don't want. I mean, if you want to, awesome. If you don't want to write down and just to write short sentences, that's okay. Okay, but for the first one, you do have to write. So in this one, you can use a useful language. You can say, one thing that I think it's very useful is this, or I think he would benefit from, or he needs to concentrate on, her main priority should be this, or she needs to find a way of. This approach wouldn't work for everyone, or I think it really depends on the kind of person you are, or this activity, doing this works for me, listening to music in English works for me, or reading stories in English works for me, or watching series, and so on. Okay. And then for the second part, that is describing your own needs and targets, you could say, I am good, or one thing I'm good at is listening. One good I'm good at is reading, like talk about the things you're good at. Or one of my worst faults is that I usually don't do this. My main aim is to learn English so I can find a better job, or my main aim is to learn English so I can study a master's degree in another country, or my main aim to learn English is to move to another country. Okay. Learning English is one of my main priorities because it's my personal goal, or I want to improve, or it's or I need English for my job. Okay, so you can use these phrases to help express your opinions. Now, where are you going to work on? So we are going again to your folders. Here on class 3, we have group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. So if you are in group number 1, of course, you're going to open this folder. That is, you write down the names here, and basically here, all the information that you find in the book, all this information here, it's here. So you don't have to go to the book, but you find all the information here. I mean, I guess you need to go back to the book, but just to read the profiles and just to double check in case you guys need, okay, with the profiles. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Okay, awesome. I will be visiting the groups, and like providing or helping you in case you guys need. So I'm going to create a groups. I'm going to create 4 groups. Group 1, group 2. Is anybody twice? Nope, not twice. Okay.
No.
Nope. Okay. Also, you can share screen. So one person shares a screen and then you write down on the same document. So please join the groups. Okay, Daniela, Joely, Stephanie, and Julie, please join your groups. Okay. Hello, Stephanie, can you hear me?
Hello, teacher. Sorry, the Zoom in my cell phone is horrible.
It's okay, don't worry. I'm going to send you to group number 4, okay? So you can join the group.
Oh, teacher.
Hello.
Hi, teacher.
So what's
Since
going
you are
on?
here. So we have a question.
Yes.
So I understand that we had to make like a list and then do like a paragraph with our
No,
tips.
not a paragraph. No, not a paragraph. You just give tips to them. That's it. To all of them, to the 5 of them. So for example, you say, okay, for Adriana, our recommendation or our suggestion is that she can do this, or maybe she can try this, or use the useful language. The useful language that I have at the bottom.
Which one?
The useful language. Okay, here open the worksheet that you were working on. Yes, at the bottom, like scroll down. No, scroll down. Yes, useful language here. So you can use a useful language to write suggestions for them. So you could say, okay, one thing that I think is very useful for Adriana. Adriana, one thing that I find or I think it's useful is this, and you start giving your opinion.
Okay. Says which learn is a profile you have most in common with. So we have to choose just one.
No, what? Can you say it again? Can you say it again?
For the point number 2. It says which person is
well, if you only have one person, one learner, yes, only one. For example, you could say, well, I find things in common with Adriana and with Akiko, for example. My motivation is a job or having a good job, just like them. So you talk like, I mean, if you find only things in common with one person, then only with one. But if you find that you have more things in common with more than one, also you can use or you can discuss about both of them or the 3 of them. Okay. So is it John and Joely, are you working with your classmates? John, Joely, are you guys here?
I don't know.
Guys, we are in class. If you can't be in class, just let us know and we will totally understand. But it's not nice just to be here and just ignore everything that is happening. So, I mean, I am always conscious, and I'm always like, if you have an inconvenience and if you tell me about it, I am super relaxed and chill, and I say, oh, don't worry, but if you don't say anything, it's like, I don't know what's going on, and it's not fair for your classmates that they are working and you're not helping. So Joely, maybe you can't talk, but you can write on the chat. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you can't talk right now. You can write on the chat and you can say, my tip is this one, or I think that for Adriana this will be something helpful for her, or for Akiko, or whatever name it is, I don't remember right now. He could say, oh, one advice for her will be this. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you can talk, like, we understand, I understand, your classmates understand, but you can find a way to help them. That's it, easy. Okay, same thing for John. And in the document, you need to write the names of the people who are working on the activity. Okay, so
okay, teacher.
okay. Thank you very much. I will be visiting other groups, and if you need help with anything, let me know. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
What about you, Curse? Judy and Cynthia? Which I
About
think
this.
that immersion means surround yourself with the language as much as you possible. This can include that watching TV or movies or listening music in this language or podcasts, reading books, or maybe speaking with native speakers.
Okay.
So for the first exercise, can you see? Are you working on exercise number 2 and then you go with, oh wow.
Yes, teacher.
Oh wow. Very good. So you are so fast. The other groups are still in the process, so I guess that you guys are going to finish real quick. So for exercise number 2, please write, okay? Because we need time. We need time. You need to give your classmates some time. So write also your answers for exercise number 2. Thank you.
Okay, teacher.
I am visiting the groups and then I'll come back. And if you need help, I'll come back. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
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 Yes.
Eh,
Ok, falta action.
vamos, mm,
She just want to improve her level, but she doesn't need for a job.
Hi, teacher.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
We have to start with
Quiere las cosas
Adriana.
básicas, como de que sepa comunicarse básicamente o qué quiere expresar.
Okay, very good. Please continue working. Awesome.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Another suggestion for her, for Adriana.
Hello, teacher.
Hello.
Teacher, I was going to tell you something. I'm sorry that I had to disconnect the call because my internet was breaking out. I was working with my group, but I cannot remember if she was Mara. Well, Marida said that I noticed that they didn't write down my name on the sheet, and
Yes.
she told me that, well, you never work with that, you never participate in class, and so I'm not going to let you. So, and I was like, I'm here to help you, I'm here to work, and I was paying attention, and she was rude. I feel like really bad with that situation. So I told her I'm here working right now because I'm working. So my company changed my schedule, and I need to work from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. So I'm here working right now, and I'm not able to
Okay.
participate like
Okay.
this, but I want to help you. And she was like, we don't need your help. We need you to participate. And I was like, okay, so.
Okay. Okay. Now that you tell me about your situation, it totally changes the scenario because I was in the group at the beginning of the session and I noticed that only Maida and I think it's Maria. Let me check. Yes, they were the only ones participating, only both of them. So I said, okay, John and Joelle, if you are in the session, please let us know and please help your classmates. And no reply. So I said, well, I always understand, and you know that when somebody's having some issues and they can't be in the session, if they tell me the situation, I always understand. I never get upset. I never, ever, ever get upset. And I always understand. And I say, oh, it's okay. Don't worry. If it's the internet connection, if it is that you are at a jobs interview or you're working or you are sick or whatever situation it is, I never get upset. And I never said, oh, you can't be in the session. No, never. So I asked and no answer. So I said, Maida and Ana Maria, like, okay, if they are not helping you, then of course you cannot include their names in the activity because I mean it's not fair, it's not fair. But now that you tell me that you are working and you
Yes,
are, you are
and but I don't know if you can see my camera.
Yeah, no, I can see. Don't worry, John. I really appreciate the fact that even though you're working, you are here in the session. Because I know it's not easy. I know that you are working and I know that you need to be there, but you also want to be here. And I totally appreciate this. I totally appreciate the fact that even though you're working, you are trying to be here in the session and you're trying to participate and you try to be active. So do not worry about what your classmate said. I'm sure that she didn't say it with bad intentions.
Yes.
Maybe she sound rude, but maybe it's not what she wanted to express. So just ignore whatever she said and just try to move on and then continue with the rest of the activities. So relax and don't worry about today's activity. Okay, I totally understand.
Actually, I'm going to talk to my boss in order to see if I can have my lunch here from 8 to 9 in order to be able to participate this last hour of class, and I'm going to participate in the first hour between 7 to 8. So I'm going to be here, of course, because I don't have to do a lot of things here, but sometimes I can have to receive phone calls, so I need
Oh, yeah.
to disconnect at that time. But well, after that, I'm going to be here again. And I was like, teacher, I really want to participate in class, but sometimes I don't do
Yeah,
it
you can. Because you can. You simply can't.
because
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like like everybody is talking, and I prefer let them to talk rather than
That maybe like interrupting or something. I mean, of course, you are never interrupting. But
you know, because sometimes I really love participating in
yeah,
nice.
no, I get it. You always participate. You're always, like saying things and helping with the activities and so on. So I understand. Don't worry, don't worry. Don't
Okay,
worry
teacher,
about it.
thank you so much for understanding.
No, it's okay. I totally understand. Don't worry. Thank you for letting me know, okay?
You're welcome.
Good. So now your classmates are coming back and we're going to share their findings and then that's it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, guys. So I was visiting all of the groups to check your progress. Some of the groups already finished, some of the and then other groups they were not done and they were still in process. However, we didn't have enough time, so I decided to just end the sessions and then we can come back here and share your advice and all the pieces of advice that you wrote and that you find useful for everyone. So we're going to start with, is there any group that would like to start? I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that you guys can share yours. Is there any group that would like to start? Maybe a group 1 or 2 or 4 or 3. Do we have volunteers? No volunteers?
Teacher.
Diana? Okay, group number 3. Go ahead, guys. Please share your screen and share with us the advice that you wrote for the 5 people. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Well, for Adriana, so she needs to improve her speaking skills. So we think she could practice it talking in English with her friends or her colleagues. And also she doesn't have enough money to for pay a course, but she have
To
2
pay
months
enough money to pay for a course. To pay.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
To pay for a course.
To pay for, yes.
But she have 2 months to study and improve her English level. So she needs to find a way to practice the language every day. For example, watching movies, reading books, listening to music, to get in contact with English in all possible ways.
Okay, getting in contact, because you're saying watching, reading, listening, getting, okay? So it needs to, follow the same structures. So you can erase to getting because before getting, there is a to. Yes,
Okay.
very good. Thank you, Diana. Awesome. Getting in contact with the English. Okay, very good.
And for Karim, I don't know, guys, if you want to read.
The rest of classmates from group number 3, you can also participate and read what you guys
Okay,
wrote.
for Karim,
Go.
he needs to be able to read English much more fluently. He can improve his vocabulary by reading different books or short paragraphs. He has to be sure that he fully understands the paragraph, and if not, locate the words he doesn't know and learn their meaning. One thing that I think, sorry, is very useful is to learn vocabulary by listening to different sounds. You should try to understand the whole sound, and if you don't understand one word, check that one and learn the meaning. Joining a reading books class to improve his reading ability, no matter the subject. Like clubes de lectura, no sé if that is the
Yes,
right.
reading clubs.
Okay. For David. For communication skill, he can use a notebook and write the way that certain words sound, even if those are not grammatically correct. It could help to improve their pronunciation, but this will cause part of this writing skills. So it's like a just a side. There are websites that can be used for having conversations with other persons in many languages, including German. Logging in those places, this should be just one word, sorry. At
with
least
other people. I mean, persons is not incorrect, but persons is more common in academic things and in law, for example. Otherwise, in regular English, we would say people. Okay, the plural of person.
Okay. At least for a few hours may help. Try to find another job with less requirements where he will able to improve his skill with time.
For Aisha, she should keep improving her Russian level on her own, because right now it's not a requirement or a necessity for her job or maybe for her studies. And in order to keep her level or even improve it, she just has to be involved with the language in daily life activities, like listening to music, surfing on the web, and watching Russian content.
Okay, teacher, and about Akiko, we said that she should try to start thinking on how she can be more confident with herself, because she knows all the grammatical topic that she needs to communicate her well. And if only she knew that everything depends on enjoying, she will be more relaxed, and even she could already speak like a native English speaker. And our advice for Akiko is trust on herself.
Yes, okay, I like that one. It's her problem is that she knows every single grammar topic, or not every single, but she knows a lot about grammar, but she doesn't know any, or she doesn't practice her speaking skills. So that's why I always try to get you in groups, because it's not only learning grammar, it's not only learning vocabulary, it's also practicing everything, like put everything into practice. Otherwise, you can have your knowledge here, but when you're trying to speak, no, like it's gonna take you like longer. So that's why it's always very important to practice everything. Very good, guys. Excellent. Thank you very much for the first part. We're going to read only the first part, because we cannot, we still need to listen to group number 1, 2, and 4. So let's go with another group. Maybe let's go with the girls from room number 1. Angelica, Jennifer, Sarai, Silvia, Julie. Go ahead, girls. Are you ready? Or let's switch. Yes, Angelica. Okay, go ahead. So group number 1, please.
So for Adriana, we suggest that to improve her English skills, Adriana can try to immerse herself in the language as much as possible. She can watch English TV shows and movies, listen to English music and podcasts, and read English books and new articles. She can also practice speaking with native speakers and through languages in exchange with sites or apps. I don't know if the other partners want to read and share the other people.
Okay,
about.
girls from team number 1, we're going to take turns.
For David, to improve his German communication skills and find a job he enjoys, David can take advantage of free language learning apps. He watches German TV shows and movies with subtitles to improve his listening and comprehension skills. Finally, David can practice his German with his girlfriends and cousins and conscious and regular practice, even just a few minutes a day, is essential to him to make progress in German.
Okay, next, Kareem, please.
Kareem, he could benefit from setting goals to improve his vocabulary about daily life routine. Maybe it's a good plan for him to constantly read anything he's interested in, like news, websites, social media. Also, he can find friends on different apps for learning English, so he can get better with the speaking and writing skills.
Very good, excellent. Asha and Akiko.
Asha can keep up her Russian skills by regularly reading Russian literature and watching Russian films. She can also try to find online communities or conversation groups where she can practice her speaking and listening skills with other Russian speakers. And Akiko can improve her listening and speaking English skill by practicing with native speakers, either through conversation exchange programs or taking private lessons with a language tutor. He can also try to immerse herself in English speaking environments by attending social events or joining clubs where she can meet and talk with native speakers.
Awesome. I like that one. Very good. Very, very, very good, girls from team number 1. Let's go with group number 2. Ana Maria, Joely, Mayra. Go ahead, girls.
Teacher, do you want that I share my screen?
Sure. If you have the Word document open there. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
So, which part, the first one?
Only the first one. Yep. The advice.
So we believe that Adriana, she can study vocabulary connect to the job. Also, we think she could try a website for practicing speaking. David travel to Germany. It's a great opportunity to practice the language. And before to go there, he can download an app to practice grammar and German speaker.
So before going there, before going there, he can download an app to practice grammar and German speaking. Okay.
Okay. Kareem, he needs to improve his reading so he could read a book. watch movies and video music with subtitles. After towards this, he could repeat the vocabulary he learned from each material and try to memorize.
After watching this, after a preposition, we usually use ing. Okay?
Grammar is the same.
It's okay.
After watching this, he could repeat the vocabulary he learned from each material and try to memorize it. And maybe follow some websites about information from grammar. Asha, she could listen to Russian music and watch Russian TV shows when she's off school. She needs to find a way to connect with people from Russia to continue practice the speaking.
From Russia, from the country, not Russian, Russia.
Oh yeah, the country.
Yes, the country. To practice speaking, not the speaking.
Practice.
To practice speaking. To continue practicing speaking. To continue, not to continuing, no, to continue. Yes. To continue practicing speaking. Yes, very good. And Akiko.
The last one. She could probably find some communities in their area to improve her confidence with the culture, because probably the new costumes could be difficult for her and her family. And also, she needs to practice the new language with her husband.
Okay, the new language with her husband. Yes, very good. Thank you very much, group number 2. Let's go with the last one, that is group number 4. So in this group, we have Freddy, Brian, and Stephanie. Go ahead, guys.
Hi, teacher. I'm going to share. So we have Adriana. It will be very helpful for her to put on the radio from countries that use English after native language. We think she will benefit from online apps where she can practice her speaking skills with foreign people that use English as her native or second language. Her main priority should be learning the vocabulary that is common to her job interest, so it will be easier for her to communicate at work with her colleagues.
Awesome.
Okay, David. He needs to practice the German language with his girlfriend, since she found a job in Germany and has a higher level of German than David. He can also improve his listening and speaking skills with his cousins. One thing he can do to get a higher level of German is to subscribe to a free online course that might be available on YouTube, Facebook, and so on. David could also take advantage of the local people who live near his house by starting conversation with the strangers in a cafe, store, etc.
Awesome.
Karim. He could make a list of popular words using his program and memorize them. Besides, we suggest him to look for logical connectors in order to read out his essays. Reading recent and old documents written by recognized authors of the field, such as investigations, reports, scientific papers, could be a good idea to improve his technical vocabulary.
I like it.
Asha, she can practice her Russian skills on free apps to keep her language level without interrupting her studies. Because some of the lessons are expensive, we think she can apply for a scholarship and have her lessons without paying for them. It could be difficult at first, but every effort gives good results. Akiko, she should listen to podcasts and watch movies and TV series in English to improve her listening skills. We think she can afford a course where she can speak English with other people who are learning the language as well, especially if it is with unknown people, so she won't feel ashamed for making mistakes.
Awesome.
Okay.
Those are awesome
Thank
tips,
you.
guys.
Yeah.
So this is something that we can not only, these 5 people can put into practice, but we all can, we can say, oh, this is interesting, so I think I'm going to use this one because I want, for example, I want to improve my let's say my writing skills, so I'm going to use the advice that my classmates mentioned, so maybe I can improve my writing or my speaking or my listening. So all the tips that you shared were awesome, guys, and I'm very happy with the outcome of this activity. So my people, time is up for today. It's time for you to go and rest and recover and have energy for tomorrow. So thank you very much for coming here tonight. I will see you tomorrow. Good night, guys. Take care. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, teacher.
Bye-bye,
Bye.
teacher. Have a
Bye.
great
Take
night.
care. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.